And now it's time for another edition of the 12th Man Fan Jam. With your hosts, the Reverend Moses of the St. Paul Island Church of Seahawk Positivity.
Yes, thank you, Magic Voice of the 12th Man Fan Jam, and welcome once again, everyone, for a very special off-season post-draft week edition of the 12th Man Fan Jam. I am your host for this program, the self-appointed Reverend Moses of the St. Paul Island Church of Seahawk Positivity, and on behalf of everyone, we'd like to thank you so much for making us part of your Seahawk pre-off-season post-draft fix as we discuss our off-season of our Super Bowl 48 champion Seattle Seahawks. So sit back, grab a desired beverage or sin of your choice, and remember, if there's a draft, you can always go to college. We have so much to discuss on the program for you, and as usual, I am never alone. No, the 12th Man Fan Jam posse is here from literally around the world to light our way along the festivities with some post-drafty bit of fun of information. First, in the red corner, my partner in crime, the yin to my yang. He may be the greatest Seahawk fan in Europe. You know him as Suffolk Blue on SeahawkBlue.com. We know him as Matt from England.
Hello, how the devil are you?
Wonderful, Matthew. How about yourself?
I'm really well, thank you. Really well indeed.
Excellent.
Excited the draft is all over and it's 121 days to go to the season starts, isn't it?
Fantastic.
Can't wait.
Better than 122.
Yes, definitely.
Definitely. And also here is our news hound. Keeps us updated on the news during the off season. He once was drafted in to clean out the Space Needle restrooms. He is known as Shadowhawk. We know him as Will.
Hi guys, and Moses, it's actually funny you mentioned that because I did have a temp job once for a couple weeks working at the Space Needle. Didn't
Really?
clean the restrooms though.
What did you do?
And working in the retail store.
Selling goodies to
We
everyone.
actually had somebody come by and ask if they sold Space Needle shaped sex toys. No joke.
Yeah, I'm sorry about that.
I knew it was you.
Dang it. Woo! Yikes. I don't know where to go with that. Space Needle sex toys. And we're off.
And we're
See,
off.
I don't know. That sounds painful to me, but no.
Well, you know, I would like to see who asked that. I'm intrigued. and if I could get their phone number later, Will, off the show, you can.
Yeah, I'll
anyway.
hook you up. Don't worry.
No, okay, thanks. Listen, enough of that. We know that you're interested in getting this post-draft edition show started, so let's run over how the format of the show goes. The 12th Man Fan Jam show is divided into 4 quarters, just like a real NFL football game. In quarter 1, we have the news with Will. In quarter 2, we're going to have some Seahawk news and a brand new little feature I like to call Headlines and Punchlines. Then our halftime show, we had so much fun on our last episode. If you listen to our last episode, we had a Seahawk Draft Trivia contest between the posse. And Matt upset the world by becoming the draft guru of the 12th Man Fan Jam because he didn't answer a question.
The hate mail has been immense.
It has been, hasn't it? But he is now going to defend his title. Will was through a complaint, a protest, because he lost on a question involving a draft when he wasn't born. So
No respect, I tell you. No respect at all.
So tonight will be the rematch. We will have our draft guru, Matt, against Will in a rematch. At halftime, you do not want to miss this. And you can play along as well. We put the questions up, give you a chance to answer them, and then we put the answers up so you can see how well you did. Real quick, my daughter Mosette, who is the voice on the 12th Man Fan Jam, the female voice saying, "Holy bleep, it's halftime." That's my little daughter, and she looked at the questions. There were 6 questions, and she got 4 out of 6 right. So I'm just saying it was a little easy.
Just to make it very clear to the listeners, neither me or Will have any idea what these questions are. By the way, there's no setup here. This is completely on the spot questioning.
Absolutely, and they really don't have an idea.
Moses didn't answer it. Moses didn't offer to sell you the answers for money?
Moses, you bastard.
We'll talk later.
Sorry.
Just I've cashed the check already. Okay. The third quarter, we're going to talk about the first 4 picks of the Seahawk draft that was just held, the second round pick and the 3 fourth-round picks. And then the fourth quarter, we'll finish up with the final 4 picks and the undrafted free agents, of course, that were drafted by our Super Bowl champion Seattle Seahawks. Before we start news, I do want to have an announcement. If you would like to contact us and say, I can't believe you opened a show talking about a Space Needle sex toy, or whatever you want to say, please email us and address that one to Will Harrison. No. Go ahead and...
I apologize. I apologize for that, folks. Moses said this was the draft edition, so I had a few cold drafts. What can I say?
Perfect. That's what drafting is all about.
Oh, dear.
But, send us a message. Send Will a, how dare you message. You're offended, and we'll get in touch with our lawyers and see what we can do about that. And before we start the news, I do want to share that our very own Matt from England has started his own little YouTube sensation. Matt, you want to talk a little bit about what you're doing?
It's hardly a sensation. I'm just doing a few Let's Play videos, so some stuff around Minecraft, some stuff around Viscera Cleanup Detail, and I'm going to do some Blood Bowl stuff, and I'm going to do some Fallout 3 stuff. So this is just me playing games, talking about Seattle football, me talking about the game, me talking about me in general, and we just have some fun. So it's just a little Let's Play gaming channel.
It's awesome. And where can they find that?
It's on YouTube. Just search for Suffolk Blue, and then you will find my channel.
Suffolk Blue channel. Coming soon to a Suffolk Blue channel near you. Excellent. Excellent. All right. Well, I guess that's all we have before we start the news. So let's get started right off the first quarter with some news. Yes, news that is fit to print and unfit to read with our very own Shadowhawk Will, in case you were too busy dodging the raindrops in the April and May showers that are flooding our lands. Will is here to give you all the news that you need that you may have missed. Will, what do you got for us this evening?
Well, I thought I'd start off with a bit of a 3-part anecdote about why the Cleveland Browns are drafting in the top 5 year after year. There was a lot of question when the Browns traded up as to who they were going for. Were they going for Manziel? Were they going for Bridgewater? Well, according to ESPN's Sal Palantonio, he explained on the air Thursday night that Jimmy Haslam, Browns owner, became convinced that the fans in Cleveland wanted Manziel after a homeless man told him to draft Johnny Manziel.
Was that Jerry Jones by telephone? Is that what it was?
I don't know, but apparently homeless men are driving the Browns front office these days.
Jimmy Haslam apparently also has flies buzzing all around him right now. Wow.
Well, and it gets better because according to Tony Grossi of ESPNCleveland.com, he has an unnamed source, no word if this is the same source as Mike Silver has,
I was going to say
that the Browns had actually filled out a card with Teddy Bridgewater's name on it when owner Jimmy Haslam overruled them.
Oh, lordy.
Oh, my God.
And the cherry on the Browns draft Sunday came shortly before Cleveland traded up into the 22nd pick, when Johnny Manziel, who was tired of sitting around the green room, actually texted the Browns quarterback coach and said, "Come get me," unquote.
Yes. Well, I actually have that tweet in my hands right now. And actually, Will, it says, the tweet actually said for Manziel, "Hurry up and draft me. I want to wreck this league together." But, that daggone autocorrect always changes things. And what he really wanted to text was, "Hurry up and draft me. I want to wreck the bathroom back here behind the studio."
His poor little face as he sat there and player after player was picked, and that poor little just sat there looking so dejected every time.
Well, Moses, it's funny you should put it that way, because I've always wondered what would happen if the team calls one of the guys in the green room and he's off in the bathroom and misses the call.
That's what he's saying. He said, "I want to wreck that bathroom. Hurry up and draft me." Exactly.
But do you know what? He obviously did get really desperate then if he just sat there and decided to text the Browns. I mean, it's just somebody
If you are
somewhere.
asking Cleveland to draft you, you must be desperate.
Oh my God, yes. Oh Lord.
Good gracious.
And then they have the press conference, and hey, he's a backup. He's definitely a backup. I mean, that's what they kept saying in the press conference. You know, he's going to have to compete. He's a backup and blah. Wow, that's a vote of confidence. Thanks. Your first round draft pick, you're already telling us he's a backup.
Oh, and Moses, we do. Speaking of Michael Silver, we do have a tweet coming in from Michael Silver.
What?
Oh, bless him.
Are you saying that we have a breaking news tweet from Michael Silver?
Yes, we do. Citing unnamed sources in the Browns front office, Michael Silver is reporting that Cleveland has now hired Kevin Costner to be their new general manager.
I haven't seen that film yet.
I haven't either. Oh my
dear.
God!
Did you see the Dallas War Room when they were sort of everyone was predicting Mayock and everyone was predicting they were going to pick Menzel, but they didn't. Did you see the War Room? And I can't think who it was, but he picked up the phone and it looked like he was about to place the call in. Obviously something else was said, and he slammed his phone back down again, and sort of leaned back in his chair and sort of shook his head, and you could just see Jerry Jones sitting there like the Emperor out of Star Wars on that big throne that he has, just directing things with a funny little woman next to him. But
See, now that was good. What was even better was the Cowboys draft party when the pick was announced, and they were all excited, and let down.
Oh dear.
Well, I was as let down as they were. I don't ask for much for this draft, but I was kind of hoping, please, Jerry, please pick Johnny Manziel, because I wanted to laugh and laugh and laugh.
Yeah.
And I was hoping.
Please draft a quarterback in the first round after you've already blown $100 million on another quarterback. Yes,
exactly.
Please.
Exactly. And I had my fingers crossed. I was so disappointed it didn't happen. But
absolutely.
Life's full of disappointments, especially if you're a Browns fan, apparently. So we'll press on, Will. What else you got? I don't know how you can top that. That was pretty awesome.
Well, we've got another player in the NFL who's not quite as happy as Johnny Manziel was to be in Cleveland. Still don't understand that, but okay. The Houston Texans have opened their mini camp without Andre Johnson.
Oh.
The all-pro wide receiver is not happy with Matt Schaub being traded, not happy with the Texans not making a better effort to bring in another quarterback. As of right now, he's the quarterbacks on Houston's roster are Ryan Fitzpatrick, fourth-round pick Tom Savage, Case Keenum, and T.J. Yates. I gotta say, the man has a point.
Yeah.
Woo! Ladies and gentlemen, your quarterbacks for the Houston Texans. Wow.
Perfect.
Yikes. Of course,
you gotta feel for guys like him and Larry Fitzgerald down in the desert with these Hall of Fame caliber receivers, and they just have these complete scrubs throwing them the ball.
I thought they were going to get Mallet. They talked about that on draft day. Oh, the Texans are going to get Mallet. That never came through. They're hurting the quarterback. There's no doubt about it. I can see Andre's point. I can. Matt, can you see Andre's point?
Yeah, but I mean, you know what? You just have to make you play with the Houston Texans. You just got to make the best of whatever you get. Do you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. what do you expect? It just isn't. You're not going to get any better than that, and it doesn't bode well for the start of the season if already you've got players sort of throwing their gloves on the grass and walking out.
Exactly. Well, last year at this time, we were talking Super Bowl for those guys.
Yeah, totally. So, the only thing that's really changed, I think, is the mentality clearly in the dressing room, and that's you've got to win the minds of these players as much as you've got to, get the contracts in place. But already bad news for them.
Yep, absolutely.
Yeah, that's the last player you want disgruntled at this point.
Yeah, totally.
Well, speaking of disgruntled, do you have another disgruntled news article for us?
Actually, I do. Do you remember Adam Muema?
His name has slipped my mind.
He was the former running back at San Diego State who left the scouting combine after saying he had a vision being drafted by the Seattle Seahawks.
Yes.
Well,
How
that
could I
didn't
forget
happen.
that guy?
Did it not happen?
Nope, it didn't. And Moema has told Joe Shad of ESPN that he's done with football and hopes to pursue a future in either boxing or ultimate fighting.
Did God tell him that as well?
Well, you know,
I don't know, but I really don't think more blows to the head is really going to help this guy.
I actually have the audio of the conversation that he heard, if you believe it or not. This is God. You suck. Do not play football anymore. That's pretty much it.
I'm impressed that you were able to get that on such short notice.
You know, at the 12th Man Fan Jam, we leave no stone unturned.
No.
I had the tweet from Manziel. I had the God voice, which remarkably sounded like my own. But that's just a coincidence.
Fascinating.
Yes.
Oh, dear.
Well, Will, I have a story I'd like to share. It's not really has anything to do with football, but before we go to break, if you don't mind, unless you have another story.
All yours?
Okay. Well, this is not really football related, but I thought this was kind of clever. See what you guys think about, because you know it's a time where people where college guys are moving in and out, and people are moving furniture and all that, and there were these college students in New York City that were purchased a $20 couch at the Salvation Army.
Oh, yes.
And when they came home, they found $40,000 hidden inside of it.
Yep.
Wow.
We almost didn't pick the couch. It's pretty ugly and it smells, but it was the only couch that fit the right dimensions for our living room. The oddly uncomfortable couch had been sitting in the students' apartments for a few months until one day they noticed a zipper on the bottom of the cushion. Inside, they found an envelope of $100 and $550 bills. We pulled out the couch and we're freaking out and we're shaking. The most money we ever found on a couch was like 50 cents. Honestly, I'd be ecstatic if we found $5. The first envelope contained $4,000, but the cash kept coming. They decided to track down the woman who's 91, doesn't trust banks. She recently broken a hip while she was in the hospital, and her children had donated the couch to the Salvation Army. They said the widow was grateful for their honesty. I feel like this is a gift from my husband, and she gave them $1,000.
And yet the guy who owned the couch still wouldn't kick in for his share of the pizza.
Nice. Very nice.
You just know that Salvation Army place is kicking itself for not checking that sofa first.
Oh, you bet. You bet.
You know they're checking every piece of furniture they get from you.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. You bet damn well they are.
You bet they are.
It's the end of the first quarter, bitches.
Hey, let's do this. Let's check our furniture right now. It's the end of the first quarter, so let's check our furniture for extra coins and change and dollar bills while we prepare for the second quarter of the 12th Man Fan Jam. And we'll be right back after this quick break.
You're listening to the 12th Man Fan Jam.
Post draft special. The Seattle Seahawks select.
I never heard of most of them. Who are these f***ing guys?
And now it's time for the second quarter of the 12th Man Fan Jam. Here to take you through the second quarter is once again our host, the self-appointed Reverend Moses of the St. Paul Allen Church of Seahawk Positivity.
Yes, thank you once again, Magic Voice of the 12th Man Fan Jam. This is your self-appointed Reverend Moses of the St. Paul Allen Church of Seahawk Positivity, and welcome to the second quarter of what I don't know what I called at the end of the first quarter. I think the 12th Man Fan Jam, but I might have been wrong. I don't know. We were debating on what I called it. The second quarter.
I didn't find any money in my cushions either.
I found a Tic Tac, but that's it. And I found
I did find my remote though.
2 or 3 Hot Wheels, but
don't eat it, Dennis, just in case that's the end of a cotton bud and not a Tic Tac at all.
What the Hot Wheels or the Tic Tac? Because
Well, don't eat the cars either.
Don't eat the
Okay.
cars.
I won't eat the
Honestly,
cars.
man.
I tell you, oh my God, going through furniture when you have kids is just the worst thing you can do. You find hardened French fries that are fossilized. They're so old. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, God.
I'm not kidding. Anyway, okay, enough of that. We're going to move on to second quarter, and the second quarter is about Seahawk news, and we're going to open with a new, fresh, exciting idea debuting right here in 12th Man Fan Jam, maybe for the last time, but at least for the first time. And what we're going to do is a little section I like to call Headlines and Punchlines. And here's how headlines and punchlines work. I will have a quick headline, and then I will, or somebody, will make up a wonderful punchline, and we'll all laugh and have a good time. Are you ready? Of course we are. Here we go. The headline for tonight's headline and punchline is officials announced Wednesday that your Super Bowl champion Seattle Seahawks will visit President Barack Obama in the White House on May 21st. Joe Biden can't wait to meet Peyton Manning.
Nice.
Officials announced Wednesday the Super Bowl champion Seattle Seahawks will visit President Barack Obama at the White House on May 21st. It's rumored that Pete Carroll will ask if Obamacare covers chewing gum jaw. They get funnier, don't they? All right.
Yeah.
Oh, of course.
Try again.
All right. Officials announced Wednesday the Super Bowl champion Seattle Seahawks will visit President Barack Obama at the White House on May 21st. In a related note, Rush Limbaugh will be asking the WNBA champion Minnesota Lynx to clean his mansion.
Oh, dear.
I only got two more. They'll get better.
I've got a couple, Moses. When you're done, can you set me
Will,
up?
hit us. Go,
Will,
Will.
hit us, Will.
Well, set me up. Do the headline.
Okay. Officials announced Wednesday that the Super Bowl champion Seattle Seahawks will visit President Barack Obama at the White House on May 21st.
Seahawk players became nervous when President Obama said, if you like your championship, you can keep your championship.
That was beautiful.
I bet.
All right. Now back to me and then, okay. Officials announced Wednesday that the Super Bowl champion Seattle Seahawks will visit President Barack Obama at the White House on May 21st. In a related note, Vladimir Putin just gave Russian Olympic men's hockey team coach from the Sochi Olympics an expired coupon from Vladimir's Lenins and Things. Lenins
Hey,
and
nice place to
Things, you
shop.
get it?
Yes, we get it.
Will, you got one?
Most convoluted joke ever.
I'm missing Godzilla for this. Oh, dear. But yes, Moses, I have one. I have
Okay.
one more.
Okay. Officials announced Wednesday that the Super Bowl champion Seattle Seahawks will visit President Barack Obama at the White House on May 21st.
Obama to Carol and John Schneider. You didn't build that.
And finally, you notice, I think Matt has left the building.
American humor is so weird. No, carry on.
I don't know if
That's
this is
our
called
leader.
humor exactly. But
Yeah. And finally, officials announced Wednesday that the Super Bowl champion Seattle Seahawks will visit President Barack Obama at the White House on May 21st. The Super Bowl runner-up Denver Broncos will be guest of honors at a Washington, D.C. Chuck E. Cheese.
yay!
That was headlines and punchlines, and if you're still listening, God bless you.
Yeah, absolutely.
Woo. All right, that was our first and only edition of that, probably. But moving on to other news, other Seahawk news that has happened since the draft, and we'll talk about the players in the second half of the show. So don't worry about that. We have not forgotten about the players that are going to be on the team.
What
But
players?
the Seahawks. And what team? We do want to share that during from last show, we had a major signing, and that was Richard Sherman.
Yeah.
Who signed a 4-year, $57 million agreement, which has since been usurped a little bit by Joe Hayden and the Browns, but I don't really care about that. This means out of the big three, between Thomas and Sherman and Wilson, two of the three are safely in Seattle's fold. Matt, your reaction when you heard that Richard was locked down for that long?
Oh, just over the moon, and
Mhm.
the kid's got so much more to give. Do you know what I mean?
Mhm.
It's not.
Mhm.
It's not like you're signing somebody who's like towards the end of their career or anything. This is a a kid who's already put his heart and soul onto that field. He proved where everything that came out of his mouth, he proved he could do. Do you know what I mean?
Yep.
And if you're brave enough to stay on national television screaming, that you're the best, and if you're gonna have a row with people on ESPN and who are rubbish at life apparently, and if you're gonna do all these things and you back them up on the field, then you deserve whatever. What was that? 40 million guaranteed plus something else. I mean,
Yes.
just fantastic news. And for me, just I again looking at it in the whole in the round, knowing that we've got Thomas, knowing that we've got Sherman, knowing that Wilson's definitely going to be next with that. There's no problem. It's such a core unit that we've managed to keep together there. That our off season really has been, pretty good actually. Considering that when it started and we started we're hemorrhaging these players left, right, and centre, whether it be Red Bryant, whether it be Golden Tate, etc. It got a little bit, freaky there for a minute for me, and I was like, oh my lord, we're losing everybody. But suddenly, when you look at the quality of the players that we've managed to retain, it's fantastic.
I totally agree. Will, your thoughts on the signing?
Well, I was saying when everybody else when we were losing players, as Matt alluded to, I was saying the whole time, this will be a successful offseason if we get Thomas extended and if we get Sherman extended. And we did both. And we gave them good deal. They got good money. We didn't go completely ridiculous on the contracts. I mean, they're still getting a lot, but with the cap going up, this is doable. I mean, we still have room to sign Russell Wilson. We still have room to sign guys like Doug Baldwin and maybe even Cliff Averill next year. So it's the kind of thing where the front office just really earned their money this year, and I'm really impressed.
Yeah, I am too. I mean, what can you say about and that whole debate? We'll talk about that in a minute. The whole debate about who's the best shutdown corner and blah blah blah. But I wouldn't trade either one of those guys for anybody. And we've already got Cam was already, locked down. And now you lock down 3/4 of the Legion of Boom. And what can you say about Richard Sherman that hasn't already been said? About what kind of guy he is, about what kind of player he is, about what kind of athlete he is. He's just a complete package all the way around. I mean, and the guy, he covers well, he plays well, and he's also got amazing instincts. It's just, I mean, he is a complete package. And to be able to not worry about that for another 4 years is really a step in the right direction.
I think the other important thing to say is that he hasn't lost his hunger to prove that he should have been picked earlier in that draft. Do you know what I mean? He's not using this as a way of saying, well, I've got paid now, so I can pretty much take my foot off the gas and just coast for 4 years and earn my money here. He knows that our program is based on competition. You have to compete to keep your place. And if the Seahawks, by what they did with Flynn, for example, is of any proof to any player whatsoever, we don't care if we spend big money on. We don't care if we spend big money on you at all. If you don't compete, if somebody else comes along and can do better than you can do, you are out of there.
Absolutely.
So he's still got to keep hungry.
Well, and also, I mean, it was important. He said flat out it was important to him as a sign of respect getting the contract. And he was the highest paid cornerback in the league for 1 week. And you've already got Patrick Peterson saying, well, yeah, I think I deserve more. And I'll buy Peterson being a better athlete, but a better cornerback, hell no. So, yeah, he's got
his interceptions are what, like 12 and Sherman's is like 20. I mean, it's the figures don't even stack up. And when he was having all that debate about I'm the best, I thought, man, you're deluded.
Yeah.
I mean, you're just utterly deluded.
Well, that's a great segue because my next question is about that. This whole debate about who's the best defensive back. I mean, is this, to me, this way I look at it, it's like arguing, okay, if you have 3 or 4 defensive backs, oh my God, we have the second or third best. First off, how do you judge them? Because really, Darrelle Revis has been used down in Tampa Bay not correctly. So, I mean, they've been putting him in a zone the whole time, and the guy's like a shutdown cover corner. So part of it's the system, part of it's the guy himself, But part of it is, look, it's like that argument we had the quarterbacks, the rookie year, between the three quarterbacks. I wouldn't trade our guy for anybody. That's all I care about it. And if you want to say he's the first, second, or third best in the league, go right ahead. I don't care. The guy's the best guy that we got, and I wouldn't trade him for anything. So
there's still too much emphasis placed upon draft place. This is the key thing. I mean, if you look at the quarterback situation, Russell Wilson still gets put in the sort of the back end of that round because he was in the back end of that round. You're still talking about luck. We're still talking about RG3, who hasn't really done anything, if the truth be told, apart from break his leg. Or whatever he did on that, and if you look at Patrick Peterson, he was a fifth round, wasn't he? A pick 5 of the first round. So in his mind, he's a first round draft choice. Therefore, he should be paid first round draft money higher than somebody like Richard Sherman, who was drafted, in the 6th round or whatever it was. There's a little bit of this still creeping in, and I can't think who it was who said it, but they said your draft is a reward for your past. Not the setup for your future. And I think some of that is still going on. But, at the end of the day, who can be the best corner? He can only be the one who's holding the Super Bowl ring of that year, isn't it? Really, to be fair? I mean...
Well, for me, it's still arguing
there's a great...
What, Will?
Go ahead, Will.
Oh, I'm sorry. There was a great article on ProFootballFocus.com basically comparing Sherman and Joe Hayden of the Browns and Peterson. And just all these metrics they're using, how... completion percentage of quarterbacks who throw at these receivers, how many times they are targeted, quarterback rating when they're targeted, and all these metrics. Sherman is just coming up head and shoulders above the other two. And the only real argument against Sherman, in my mind, for not being the best cornerback is that rather than shadow the team's best receiver, he does take one side of the field. But, Sherman, before the Sunday night game against the 49ers this year, went up to Pete Carroll and said, look, I want to do things differently. I want you to put me in on Anquan Bolden. And he completely shut Bolden down in that game. So it's not a matter that he can't do it. Yeah. It's just the scheme that Seattle runs.
Right. I'd say the important thing to remember is that he's part of an elite team of elite players at that position. I mean, he's not the best corner. He is the best corner, I think, on our team. But you've got other players around him who are pretty almost equally as good at times. So you're going to share that sort of roll around a little bit, and they're unselfish with it. They're looking for picks, and those picks don't necessarily have to fall into your hands. The tip that he did to somebody else to pick off to claim that interception, but they're doing it for the better of the team. Whereas people like Patrick Peterson and others are looking for their own contract extensions, aren't they? So they want the figures.
See, for me, it's just, the whole argument is like, who's the richest man in the world? Who's the second richest man in the world? They're both filthy rich.
I know.
So just be happy with the money you got. And I, where I live, the argument has always been the rookie year between Luck and Wilson. Finally, I said, look, you're not going to give up your guy for anything in the world. I understand that. I wouldn't give up my guy for anything in the world. So there you go. We're both happy. So to me, it's a win-win for everybody involved.
And also, you can't fault guys like Joe Hayden and Patrick Peterson for saying, I think I'm the best, because you got to think you're the best if you're playing in the NFL. You got to think, okay, I'm better than everybody else. Yes. But I tell you what, I would sit down and argue anybody who says Sherman is not the best, because I think you can make a really strong case that he is.
But that's the exact mantra that Sherman is telling the whole league. I believe I'm the best, and everyone else should mimic him. The question is, can everybody else deliver? On the field, what comes out of their mouth, and if you can't, then you're not going to get paid. As simple as that.
Exactly. Totally agree. And congratulations to Hayden for his contract. It totally deserved. The guy is an amazing defensive back. And congratulations on Richard Sherman for a well-earned award, just like we said with Thomas, a well-deserved and well-earned contract as well. It's great to know that 3/4 of the defensive backfield that is one of the best in football, and maybe one of the best ever, is going to be in a Seattle Seahawk uniform for the next 4 or 5 years together. That's a really nice thought, thinking those guys as young as they are. Absolutely. So,
holy shit! It's halftime.
Speaking of competitions, as we head into halftime, this is the end of the second quarter. We have quite a competition ahead of us. You are not going to want to miss this. You can play along by looking at your screen. We'll put the questions and answers up as we go. But when we come back from break, it's time for the draft guru to make a stand because he's being
You're going down.
challenged. Oh, it's going to be nasty.
Fight and talk now, is that? All right.
Here we go. All right. We'll be back after this break with Seahawk Draft Trivia.
Hey, this is Matt, all the way from merry old England, and you're listening to the 12th Man Fan Jam.
Yes, welcome once again to a special halftime 12th Man Fan Jam version of Seahawk Draft Trivia. That's right. I'm your host, the self-appointed Reverend Moses of the St. Paul Island Church of Seahawk Positivity. Thank you for being here. You're a wonderful crowd. And let's meet our contestant, shall we? Yes, he's from England, and he's the draft guru, the reigning champion of Seahawk Draft Trivia. It is none other than Matt.
Hello. Crocky.
And of course, his challenger who complained that he lost the question last time because he wasn't born yet is Will.
Hello, Moses. Nice suit. I hear plaid is coming back.
It is coming
nice.
back. Thank you. Here's how the game's played if you're paying attention. And you can play along, which is the best part of this. On your screen, we will be giving you the questions. And I will be giving the contestants the questions and 3 options. They have to pick one option for the correct answer. After 3 rounds, we will have a final. If there's a tie, we have a tiebreaker. And if not, someone will be crowned the draft trivia champ of the post-draft show. So, draft guru will still be draft guru.
Just to check, you said I have to let him win, yes?
Well, he really took it hard last time, so we don't want to lose him.
What was
Ready?
that? Sorry.
Nothing. Nothing. Okay, here are the rules. There are 3 rules. First, no Google whatsoever. No Googling. Put your smartphones down.
Googly.
No, we're not
How
doing
about
that.
Bing?
No searching of any kind.
Searching.
Okay.
Number 2, no phone a friend, especially for Matt because it's 3 in the morning over in
It's
England.
3 in the morning.
Yes.
Actually, I
finally-
kind of hope Matt does phone a friend. That would be entertaining.
Let's go to friend Johnny Manziel. Bear with me.
The most
What is that?
important rule of all, and this is for everyone listening, watching, paying attention. Please, people, no wagering. This is only in fun. All right.
Yeah.
Here we go. We will
For entertainment purposes
for
only.
entertainment purposes only, and we will start with the champ. I have 12 questions, and I'm going to allow them to pick a number between 1 and 12. Some of these questions may be a little easier than other ones, so I was kind of also accused of giving out easy questions last time.
Easy.
So we have 12 questions here, and I will let the champ go first. So that is the guru, Matt. Matt, number between 1 and 12, please.
Number 12, please.
Well, what a shocker. Matt picks number 12. All right. The number 12 question is this. In 2012, Bobby Wagner and Robert Turbin were both picked by Seattle and both came from Utah State.
Yes.
Before this time, when was the last time the Seahawks drafted 2 players from the same college? Was it
my word. Okay.
Was it 2009, 2007, or 2004? And there's your Oregon, baby.
Oh, lordy.
Because I know you missed the Oregon.
Right,
did?
hold on.
Would you like the years again?
Well, I'm just trying. Yeah, just give me the years again, because I'm just thinking in my mind.
2009, 2007,
Yeah.
2004.
In my mind, I think in my mind, I want to say 2007 because I'm pretty sure we had 2 from Auburn then. So I'm going to go for 2007.
2007, he says.
Yeah.
The answer.
Oh,
2009.
sugar.
2009. Does anybody want to guess?
man.
I have no clue.
Mike Teal and Courtney Green, both from Rutgers.
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 Bugger. Yes,
Matt,
of course.
Mike Teal in safety. Mike Teal in the 6th round. Courtney Green in the 7th.
Didn't we have 2 in 2007 though from Auburn?
I believe so. Yes, but this was
Yeah.
the question was the last time.
Yeah, Ben Omomanu and somebody else in 07.
Oh, Courtney Taylor.
Taylor.
That's right.
Or-
And
yeah.
as far as Courtney Green goes, wasn't he only on the roster for about a week?
Yeah, he wasn't on there very long,
Oh,
but he was drafted.
It's a bad start from.
Bad start, but
for the
that's all
girls.
right because now it's Will's turn. Will, I need a number between.
Now
I
it's
guess,
my turn to bomb.
Yeah, I guess now number between 1 and 11. You know.
In honor of Russell Wilson, I will go with number 3.
Okay, number 3. Well, the question is about Seahawk draft pick Cassius Marsh. He's being compared to Seattle Seahawk defensive lineman Michael Bennett because the book on him is he can line up anywhere on the defensive line. My question to you, Will, is what college did Michael Bennett attend? Was it Texas, Texas A&M, or Oklahoma? Michael Bennett, was he from Texas, Texas A&M, or Oklahoma?
Texas A&M.
He says Texas A&M. The correct answer is Texas A&M.
Ooh, is he good?
Woohoo!
He's good.
After the first round, Will leads 1-0. Matt, you need to recover.
Damn
here.
it.
Number between 1 and
know.
12, but it can't be 3 or 12.
Well, Travaris Jackson, number 7.
Go with the backup, number 7. Okay.
Oh, God.
That doesn't sound good.
No, these
it
are a
doesn't,
lot
does it?
more difficult than last week. Let me
In
say that.
1976.
No, these are all about the last 3 years.
Okay.
The Seahawks drafted this year an offensive lineman, Garrett Scott, from Marshall. One of the most famous Marshall alumni to ever be drafted in the NFL was a guy named Randy Moss. You heard of Randy Moss?
Yes.
Yeah, Randy Moss. How many touchdowns receiving does Randy Moss have in his NFL career? Is it 153? Is it 156? Or is it 158?
Oh, do I care?
No, 153, 156, 158.
Eeny, meeny, miny, mo. I'll go with 156.
Matt goes with 156.
I have no idea.
Matt has
If
no
you
idea.
get this, I'm taking you to Vegas with me.
If he gets this, you're taking him to Vegas with you.
Yes, don't worry. I'm a cheat.
Well, pack him up, because that's right.
All right, I better not wake up with no tiger in the bathroom.
156. And Matt ties it up.
Yes.
Well done, Matt. Will, I need a number, please.
Well, you know, Moses, punters are people too, so in honor of John Ryan, I'm going to go for number 9.
Number 9. Okay, number 9. Kind of a cupcake on this one, I think, but we'll see.
Oh, great.
Number 9 has to do with the Seahawks drafting a hard-hitting fullback this year named Kiro Small. And it was reported on draft day that he broke 26 face masks in college while blocking. This reminds me of another former Seahawk fullback named Owen Schmidt. Remember Owen?
Yep.
Owen Schmidt. What round did the Seahawks draft Owen Schmidt in 2008? Was it the 5th, the 6th, or the 7th round?
5th round.
5th round.
Ooh. Right. Because it was after Red Bryant in the 4th. I hate him.
Wow. Listen to you guys. Listen to you. Oh, yes.
Way to ruin the suspense there, Matt.
I remember.
Well, I don't
I remember
care.
it well. Yes.
Giving it bloody questions that I can
The
answer.
sun was shining. Well, you know, not that it matters, but the answer... Yeah, that's right. 5th round. Congratulations, Will.
I don't want to go to Vegas with it anyway.
Will's 2 for 2. All right, Matt. This could be the last round. We'll see. We may go another one. All right. Matt, I need a number from you. This is important.
What numbers have we got?
I'll just throw one out, and I'll tell you if you got it or not.
1.
Number 1 has not been used. All right.
1.
Number 1. You got to get this to time up.
Stop putting the pressure on, man.
Yeah.
4 in the morning here.
Okay. Are you breathing? No, there's no pressure here.
Yeah, I'm all right.
The organ will be playing, so get ready. I know, that bloody organ. Okay. The Seahawks' first pick this year was in the second round. It was Paul Richardson. He has been called a poor man's Deshaun Jackson. What college did Deshaun Jackson attend? Was it USC? Was it UCLA? Or was it Cal? USC, UCLA, or Cal? What college did Deshaun Jackson attend? A lot of pressure.
Yeah, I don't know. Give me them again. I'm going to do another eeny, meeny, miny.
USC, UCLA, or Cal?
Where are you taking me this time? Will, if I get this right just by pure guess?
Bismarck, North Dakota.
Bismarck, North Dakota. Woo!
Sounds delightful. Sounds very German.
If we have any listeners in Bismarck, North Dakota, I would like to say hello. Once again, your options. Wait a minute. USC, UCLA, or Cal?
UCLA.
UCLA.
The one in the middle.
The one in the middle. Always going for the one in the middle. Deshaun Jackson.
Oh.
I'm sorry.
Damn it.
Deshaun went to Cal.
Oh, well.
Which now leaves Will.
Well,
to
I'm
finish it. He's going to win, but before he can show off here and go 3 for 3. And then I want to go ahead and do the final bonus question between the two of you just for fun. Will, do you have a number for me?
Well, since you brought up Paul Richardson last time, I'm going to take number 10.
Ooh. Oh, I see what you did there. Oh, man, this is such a cupcake. This is a cupcake. Okay. He had some cupcakes this time, Will. In the third round in 2013, the Seahawks drafted Jordan Hill. What college is Jordan Hill from? Ohio State, Pitt, or Penn State?
Penn State.
Good.
Will says Penn State. And Will would be right. Penn
Someone's
State
been
it is.
brushing up. Someone's been brushing up on their draft trivia, Moses.
He has perfect score.
And it's not me.
I had to rebound after my poor performance last time.
Man, you are amazing. You're going to be the what did I say you were going to be? The something of the 12th Man Fan Jam post draft show. I don't know. The king.
I'm very honored.
Yeah, you're something. Congratulations. You get a crown and everything. All right, but before we do that, I want you both to play. This is going to be, you have to give a number.
Okay.
Okay? Are you both ready to write down a number? And we'll let Matt go first because he's the defending champion, even though he's a loser right now.
Yeah,
Here's how it goes.
Okay.
The Seahawks have had a total of 36 first-round picks.
Yes.
How many of the 36 picks the Seahawks have made were on defense? How many defensive picks out of 36? The closest one without getting over gets 2 points. And so Matt can tie it. Then we have sudden death, where I have to send you off. So, do you both have answers? Matt, do you have an answer? I'll read the question again.
Yeah, I'm just thinking.
There are 36 picks, first-round picks the Seahawks have had. How many of those picks have been defensive players out of 36?
What my own number, don't you? 16.
Matt says 16. Will? What is your number?
I'm gonna go with 11.
Will's gonna go with 11. Well, the answer, gentlemen, is 21. So Matt ties it up.
No kidding. Wow.
21 out of the 36 picks.
Damn. I wonder we're the best defense in the league over the years.
Means we got to go one more round. And okay.
Cage match.
Here we go, Matt. Give me a number.
Yes. Oh, another 6.
6 has been used. No, it hasn't. Okay, no, we're good.
Okay, go on then.
We're good. Okay.
Give me a
Number
cupcake.
6. Well, I don't know about that. All right.
Oh, okay.
I think the cupcakes have been eaten. All right.
Bloody will.
Seahawks drafted Jimmy Staten out of Middle Tennessee State. What famous musician also has a degree from Middle Tennessee State?
What?
Are you ready? Is it Waylon Jennings? Is it George Clinton? Or is it Chet Atkins? Waylon Jennings, George Clinton, or Chet Atkins? Who graduated from Middle Tennessee State?
Moses, you are a cruel, cruel man.
Waylon Jennings, George Clinton, or Chet Atkins?
Clinton.
If he gets this right, what do you got?
He said Clinton.
He said Clinton.
Yes, Clinton.
Matt?
I don't know why. It's the middle one. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Matt.
Yeah.
You're right!
Are you freaking kidding me?
George Clinton and P-Funk. Bring Matt from the dead. So now, Will.
Oh, dear.
Give me a number, Will. Looks like we got a 2, a 4, a 5, an 8. Yeah, 2, 4, 5, 8.
Oh man, you're. I look forward to trying to answer what national Sudoku champion went to Tennessee along with Britt.
Oh my God.
Well, I'm glad Stephen Hauschka's back. Let's go with a 4.
Let's go with a 4. All right. Whew, my goodness. All right.
Oh dear.
No, this one, I don't think this one's that hard. Draft pick Kevin
What a shock.
Norwood was just drafted by the Seahawks, paid for a 2-time national champion in Alabama. How many national championships did Pete Carroll win while at USC? Was it 2, 3, or 4?
Is this counting or not counting the one? Wasn't one vacated?
Yeah, we're going to count it, I believe.
Okay. National championships?
Yes, 2, 3, or 4.
Oh boy. 2?
He says 2. He says 2. Will, the correct answer is 2.
Oh.
Woohoo!
2003, 2004.
What a football question.
Oh, gentlemen. 3 questions left, last round. This is it. This is all or nothing. 2, 5, or 8. Matt.
Oh, does it matter? We could ask
And there
you
is a
something.
cupcake. I think there's a cupcake still available.
Is it about football though? That would be a great start for me. 2, 5, or 8. I'll go 2. 2.
2.
2.
I think this is a cupcake, but we'll see.
Oh, all right then. I'll be the judge of that.
I think Will would get this one. Okay. Matt, 4th round pick Justin Britt will compete at right tackle. Hopefully he will pan out like former right tackle Sean Locklear did for us. What college did former Seahawk Sean Locklear attend? Was it Stanford, NC State, or South Carolina?
Oh my goodness.
Sean Locklear, was he at Stanford, NC State, or South Carolina?
I've got a feeling he was North Carolina State.
He has a feeling it was North Carolina State.
He's hooked on a feeling.
He's hooked on a feeling. He's already going to Vegas. And now, he's right.
Yes!
North Carolina State. All right, Will. It comes down to this.
Oh dear.
5 or 8.
Show some love to Matt Hasselbeck. I'll go with 8.
Another cupcake.
Oh, he's so lucky with his cupcakes.
Yes. All right.
That just sounds dirty. I'm sorry.
He's lucky with his cupcakes. The Seahawks drafted defensive back Eric Pinkins from San Diego State. What former San Diego State Aztec was a first-round pick for Seattle? Dan McGuire, Terry Taylor, or Tony Woods?
Sadly, Dan McGuire.
Sadly, Dan McGuire. See, it's a cupcake, isn't it? And the answer is...
Well, I keep trying to forget Dan McGuire.
Yes, it's Dan McGuire. Which means we come to another question. Now, this is going to be first come, first serve, and this is going to finish it.
Go on then.
Here we go.
Finish him.
First one to answer. I just want an answer blurted out.
All right.
Back to the history of the Seahawk first-round picks. Okay, the Seahawk first-round picks, twice they have picked straight first-rounders on defense. It's the most times they've picked every year, like on defense. You see what I'm saying? So, like,
I think you cut out a little bit.
Okay, twice they have consecutively picked defensive players.
Okay.
How many consecutive years is the record for the Seahawks picking the most consecutive defensive players? You see what I'm saying? So, like, for 10 straight years. So, like, for 10 straight years, they picked a defensive player first round. That's what I'm saying. It's not 10. But how many years in a row did they pick defensive players? They did this twice, and it's the most consecutive years they picked one side of the ball. They did it with defense twice. How many consecutive years did they pick a defensive first rounder?
3.
4.
Will says 3. Matt says 4. One of you's right. Twice the Seahawks in consecutive years picked defensive players, and they did it 4 times!
Yes! Oh, come on!
And that means, once again, in a major, major upset, Matt is still a Seahawk Trivia champion.
Thank you very much.
Unbelievable. He defended his crown against Will. Unbelievable.
Where's my
match
lovely
tonight.
parting gift, damn it?
Oh, you don't get
Will.
parting gifts. You don't even get a version of the home game. Once again, the champion defends his crown. What an amazing halftime show. The crowd loved it. Thanks, everyone, for playing along. I hope you had a great time with this. We did. We're going to take a quick break, come back third quarter, and hey, let's talk a little Seahawk football this time, shall we?
Hi, I'm Mazette, Moses' daughter, and when he's not telling me to clean my room, he's on the 12-man fan jam.
Mosette, come here, clean your room.
Call me Dad! Holy shit.
Welcome to the third quarter of the 12th Man Fan Jam. So once again, let us join our host, the self-appointed Reverend Moses of the St. Paul Island Church of Seahawk Positivity.
Yes, thank you, Magic Voice of the 12th Man Fan Jam, and welcome back to the second half of the 12th Man Fan Jam. We start the third quarter talking about the Seahawk draft picks from the 2014 NFL Draft. If you're just joining us, oh my goodness, what an exciting, amazing, thrilling halftime show we had in double, triple, quadruple overtime. Matt retained his title as draft guru and trivia champion on our show. It's crazy. The money lost in Vegas.
I think what I'll do next time, I'm going to step out of the next round so that Will and Mark can just go at it, because I can't have these British people keep coming in and sort of beating you at trivia and sport. You know what I mean?
Oh my god. Oh my god.
I'll step out of this and let the Americans have a go.
Ouch. Ouch. Will, can you remove
Just
that
a
dagger from our
reminder,
backs?
but just remember this, Matt. When it really came down to it, we kicked your ass in the Revolution.
Oh!
Still on about the revolution.
He went
Still
there.
going on about it.
I gotta take what I can get.
Yeah, he has, really, apart from cupcakes.
At least we can use our hands in our football, buddy.
Yeah, you can, because it's the game.
I don't know if that means anything. All right. Well, let's talk about the draft pick, shall we? I mean, we've had a lot of fun tonight, and it's been a great show. But let's go ahead and show these people why we are just literally fans from around the world talking about the Seahawks, because our insight is not going to matter much. But let's talk about the draft picks. We have Paul Richardson, wide receiver out of Colorado in the second round with the first Seahawk pick. Will, what was your thoughts on him, and what can we expect from him?
We can expect an awful lot of speed. I mean, in today's rookie minicamp, he burned sixth-round pick Eric Pinkins on a long pass from Keith Price.
Nice.
So, I mean, the guy just flies. I mean, he ran a 4.28 40-yard dash. That's just insane. I mean, he's not he's obviously a bit smaller. You know, he doesn't have he's not the big receiver that a lot of us wanted, but the guy can take a top off a defense. I mean, they're gonna have to account for him just like they're gonna have to account for Percy Harvin, and it's gonna open things up for everybody.
That's a scary thought when you have a guy like Marshawn Lynch in the backfield, isn't it, Matt?
It is. The only thing I would say about him, I mean, he had some impressive stats at the combine as well. I mean, I know his jump was over 10 foot 4, I think it was, or something, 38-inch jump and stuff. The only thing I would say as a qualifier on him, and his speed is absolutely his key weapon, but he does have a tendency to overrun or outrun the pass. And at times during the combine, he had to slow down in order to be able to get himself in position to catch the ball. I'd prefer to see him catch the ball at speed and run with it, without necessarily having to slow down first. But he is lightning fast, this one.
Yeah, I agree. Does this, you guys think this spells the end for maybe a guy like Ricardo Lockett?
It's going to be really tough for Lockett to make this roster. I mean, he's got the special teams thing going for him, but it's going to be crowded. I mean, you're looking at Richardson's going to make it. You've got Harvin, you've got Baldwin, you've got Norwood, who's fourth-round pick, so he's got a good chance. You've got probably Jermaine Kearse. That's 5 receivers.
Rice.
At most, we're going to keep 6. And you got Sidney Rice. So it's going to be tough.
I see, again, this is where I get really awful. I'd much rather get rid of Sidney Rice. Keep Ricardo Lockett because I want him for the special teams, because I think his special teams presence has been huge.
Yeah.
The huge hits he did against the Rams, that one is the one that sticks into my mind.
Sure.
Absolutely, when he just ran him over and kept on rolling. So that sort of special teams weaponry, I think, is a key factor as to whether or not Lockett stays. I agree with you, though. It's a really crowded roster there.
Well, I think it's a safe bet that we're going to have either Rice or Lockett, but not both this fall.
Not both, yeah, granted.
Yeah, I agree. Well, we'll see. Also in the second round, the Seahawks picked up a rather tenacious and hard-hitting, playing to the whistle, tough, nasty lineman by the name of Justin Britt. Will, what do you know about him?
Well, really good technician. He's played left tackle and right tackle and really graded out better as a right tackle, which is good because that's where he's going to compete for. And I think he's got as good a shot of starting as anybody in this draft class. People are on Seattle's case for, he would have been available in the 4th round, or he would have been available then. Well, Seattle started a run on offensive tackles when they picked Britt, and remember, they didn't have a 3rd-round pick. So if they hadn't picked up somebody here, they wouldn't have gotten that crop of offensive tackles. So I like the pick, and I think he's going to surprise some people.
I think so too. Matt, this whole idea about, he could have been 3rd round, 4th round. If it's the guy you want, should you go get him, or should you go ahead and wait and try to get him where you think he should go?
Well, that's part of the fun of the draft, is the risk. Is the risk that if you want your man and he goes earlier than what you wanted him at, then you've lost him and you'll never get hold of him. And I think didn't we lose out on somebody that went to New England, if you believe the reports, is that we were waiting for the bloke that New England took, and actually unfortunately we lost him, so that's where we traded in the 1st round anyway. If you want a player, you go and get him. The only thing I would qualify against this bloke, for me, Britt seemed quite cumbersome, and I mean he's a big bloke. He's about 6'7", 6'6", something like that. He's a big chap, 300 odd pounds, and he for me he seemed a bit slow off the mark. He seemed a little slow off the ground. But power and strength is absolutely. You can see why he's got that sort of nasty nasty stroke, because he's a big dude. And I said at the beginning of this whole draft process, the two areas I wanted to look at specifically was the offensive line and wide receiver. So far, regardless of whether we pick him up in the second round or could have waited to the fourth, we got what I wanted to see.
Yeah, me too. I like the idea. What I've read is the things like, a tone setter, explosive tenacity. You put him with a Tom Cable, and I think this kid's going to be nasty in the NFL.
So have you recovered from not drafting your favorite prospect here, Moses?
Mr. Moses, yes, I have. It came and went. And I got excited every time, but obviously I was rooting. I was hoping that Morgan Moses would get drafted by Seattle just because it'd be cool to have the name on the back of the jersey. But I'm good with it. Yeah, I'm all right with this. I'm okay with what these guys do. They do a pretty decent job of drafting the team without my help, so I'm good with it. Fourth round, we started with Cassius Marsh out of UCLA, another high energy when the switch is flipped, a disruptive force, a fiery attitude at defensive end. Will, what do you got on him?
Well, it sounds like they're going to use Marsh much the way that they use Michael Bennett, rushing from the 5 technique, the defensive end spot, moving him inside to the 3 technique to rush from the inside too. So he's got the versatility they like. He's definitely got the attitude. The one thing with Marsh is, he got ejected from a game or two from throwing a punch. You get the feeling this guy, you got to keep him under control a little bit. So you could have, you get the feeling he's the guy who might draw a penalty, a 15-yarder every now and then.
Yeah, I agree. Matt, any thoughts?
Yeah, I was going to say that's my qualifier for me. Is attitude. I mean, I think he has got the right attitude, the need to compete. But I think within that, there now needs to be some maturity shown that this is a sport and not, he's playing a particular sport called football, not a boxing match. So, play the game, be a grown-up, be a professional. Think about the team first, yourself second, and don't give me 15 yards playing people like the 49ers or the Cardinals, or just don't give me those 15-yard penalties, because I will soon fall out of love with this pick if he does that.
We don't seem to mind the penalties as much, it seems like, when we play. But moving on, second pick of the fourth round, Kevin Norwood, wide receiver out of Alabama. Like I said in the trivia, 2-time national champion. Will, what do you know about Mr. Norwood?
Probably my favorite pick of the draft, but ever since we had Steve Largent, I've always had a thing for possession receivers. Although this guy ran a 4.44 at the combine, so it's not like he's slow. 6'2", 200 pounds, great hands, great route runner. My favorite part about Norwood is just the description that he's great when the play breaks down, that he doesn't give up on the play. So I can just see Russell Wilson scrambling out of the pocket, looking for a guy, and Norwood being right there on the sidelines with the key first down. So I love this pick.
I agree. Matt, your thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, his 3-cone drill was pretty good, actually. He was really quick around those quick cones. His ability to change direction was pretty good. I had a look at each of the videos as we picked them, as we went back to have a look at them, and his was the one I thought. I mean, he did drop his ball. He did drop the catch that he had to do a couple of times, actually, if memory serves. So a little bit wary on the hands, but it's the combine. These things happen.
Yeah, and as a bonus, if we need a sub kicker to miss a field goal in a clutch situation, we have a Norwood.
Dear.
That's an oldie. Look it up, kids. Bills and Giants Super Bowl. And finally in the fourth round, we finished off the fourth round by picking somebody that I know that was picked because Matt wanted them to pick him so that I could do my terrible French accent. So, ladies and gentlemen, I present to you Kevin Pierre-Louis from Boston College. Sacre bleu.
Les skunk. Les pew.
Les pew. Les wheels.
The saddest thing is when this pick came through, the first thing I thought about, I didn't care what position, I didn't care what college, I didn't care whether he was any good. He just had the best name because I knew you were going to have to pronounce it. All I care about.
Bless your heart. Will, tell us about Kevin Pierre-Louis.
Well, first off, just count your blessings that we didn't draft that Canadian offensive lineman, though. That would have been even worse.
I was hoping we get Clinton Dix, or I was hoping he'd at least go to the Packers. But
Oh dear, but yeah,
Yeah.
Pierre Louis or if it's Lewis, I don't know.
Call him Kevin.
I'm just gonna call him KPL.
KPL.
Woo.
Another guy who's just a complete speed demon. I mean,
Mhm.
4.5 40 time at the combine, which is insane for a linebacker. 28 reps on the bench press. I mean, the guy just flies all around the field.
Yeah.
And you get the feeling this guy, his rookie year at the very least, is going to make a big impact on special teams.
Yeah,
But I think he can become a possible replacement for Smith or KJ Wright or somebody down the line.
he and Luke Kuechly kind of teamed up when Kuechly was there. What I love about reading this kid, he committed to Boston College over offers from Stanford, Duke, and Virginia, citing BC's academics as a deciding factor. Versatile experience, even making impact plays on special teams. Very high football and off-field character with a productive resume as a 4-year starter. Sounds like a guy that, is one of those old Ruskell guys that we used to always think we were going to get. But high character, a smart guy, and, a great name for me to work at. Hopefully, he'll get on the same field at the same time as our backup center, who I will not talk about. And finally...
It's the end of the third quarter, bitches.
That is the end of the third quarter with the first 5 picks of the draft. We're going to take a quick break, and we're going to come back with the final 4 picks of the Seattle draft right after this.
You're listening to the 12th Man Fan Jam on the Seahawk Positivity YouTube channel.
Guys, as team captain, I want you all to listen up and listen good. Let's get the F out of here. I mean, there's an exit near the showers. I don't even know we're going. These guys are so good. And I'm very, very scared of them. I mean, can I be real with you right now? I mean, like, really, really real? I just thought about going out there for the second half, and a little bit of pee came out. It's no use, all right? We suck. And I know for a fact that we can't win this game. And I'd much rather head home, bake some snickerdoodles with a few of my bros, and then practice French kissing with my French kissing puppet.
And now, it's time for the 4th quarter of the 12th Man Fan Jam. Here to lead us through the final quarter is once again our host, the self-appointed Reverend Moses of the St. Paul Allen Church of Seahawk Positivity.
Yes, thank you again, Magic Voice of the 12th Man Fan Jam. We are going through the Seahawk draft. We did the first 5 picks of the 2014 NFL draft, and we're going to finish up the show by talking about the final 4 picks and a couple of undrafted free agents. When we left off, we had started the 5th round, and at the end of the 5th round, the Seahawks picked a defensive tackle from Middle Tennessee State, which, by the way, is where George Clinton graduated from, if you're interested in that, named Jimmy Staten. Tell us what you know about Jimmy.
Well, this guy, I mean, is just very, very strong. I mean, he destroyed linemen at the collegiate level. Also agile. He's got at the combine, he had a 27-inch vertical jump, which, for a guy who was over 300 pounds, jumping 27 inches, I mean, whew.
Wow.
But, yeah, the only thing with him is, he did play against lesser competition at the collegiate level. I mean, I'd never heard of Middle Tennessee State before this pick. I had heard of George Clinton.
I was going to say, you're not a P-Funk fan? What's the deal?
Well, I've heard of George Clinton, but okay. Yeah, so, Staten, he's got the athletic ability. He just has to develop a little further than some of the others.
Yeah. Matt?
I mean, he had a knee injury as well, didn't he, in 2013 or something as well. So there's that's every time I hear anything about a previous injury, that makes me go.
He did get 30 tackles in spite of that injury last year, though.
Yeah, but an injury has a horrible way sometimes of coming back and just niggling away, and I hope we don't. I hope that's not the position. But we lost Clinton McDonald. Let's hope that he this dude is able to fill that spot.
Yeah, I'm with you. 6th round, Garrett Scott, offensive tackle out of Marshall. Will?
This guy ran a 5-second 40-yard dash. The 3-cone drill is just a hair over 7 seconds. It's crazy. I mean, they're already talking about putting him in at left tackle. I mean, obviously he's not going to beat out Russell Okung, but he's got he's an intelligent player. He's got a lot of experience working in his own blocking scheme, and he won't be starting at left tackle this year, but a couple years down the road when Okung's contract is up, you never know.
That's true. You don't.
Just
Matthew?
more depth at offensive line. That's what more can you ask for?
Yes.
Just keep piling it in. Just keep piling it in. I'll have more of it, please. Thanks.
Yes, exactly. And then we went with a Eric Pinkins, which is kind of a backup, I would think, at this point, a free safety out of San Diego State. Will?
Yeah, definitely a backup at this point because they're gonna see if they can convert him into a cornerback. If that works, boy! I mean, you got a guy the size of Cam Chancellor who can run a 4.440. If he can develop into a cornerback with the other three members of the Legion of Boom, damn.
He jumped a vertical almost 40 inches as well. I mean, this bloke's springy.
They're comparing him to Brandon Browner, if I'm not mistaken. Is that right, Will?
Yeah, Brandon Browner type, only a lot faster. So if this works, it's going to pay off huge for our defense.
Yes, definitely. I mean, this is again, small. This whole team, that's the philosophy of small risk, big reward. If he doesn't work out, he's a late sixth round pick. If he works out, he's one of those late rounders again we're talking about. So a lot to like there. And then the final pick of the draft, a fullback, Kiro Small. Will, does this spell the end for Michael Robinson? He's been hinting about retirement. And what do you think about Small as his chance to make it a fullback on this team?
Well, sadly, I think we are moving on from Robinson. I don't think there's been much effort to bring him back. But, I love fullbacks. You just got to love guys who love to block that much. And this guy, 5'8", we finally got somebody shorter than Russell Wilson. But 244 pounds. This guy broke over 24 face masks in college. Nice. I wouldn't sleep on. I wouldn't write this kid off. I mean, what do we have at fullback right now? We've got Derek Coleman. Okay, he's doing well. Spencer Ware, probably more of a halfback than a fullback.
Yeah,
I could
honestly
see Small making the roster with a good offseason. Maybe becoming a fan favorite the way Leonard Weaver was when he came into the league.
The fire hydrant, the church bus. Matt, your thoughts on getting the fullback?
Yeah, I mean, it has to happen. I mean, I think you're right. I think Mike Robb, that chapter's over. But this kid's got potential. I think that. I mean, he's a large, small gentleman. And I agree entirely with. I think he's one to watch. He's a little sleeper to watch because this one could get good very quickly.
I agree. Let me list the undrafted free agents real quick, and then we'll ask each of you to pick one or two that you may be really interested in. Deion Bailey from USC, Brock Croyle from Montana, Chase Dixon, Gary Gilliam, Bronson Irwin, Jackson Jeffcoat, and Jimmy Legree. Well, is there one on that list that you think might make this team from undrafted list?
Well, you look at Jackson Jeffcoat, his collegiate career. He had 13 sacks last year. He's quick, he's agile, and he's a bit smallish in size, but it fits well with the Leo position that we run.
His biggest
problem has just been staying healthy. So if he can avoid the injuries, I really think he could compete for the backup Leo spot going up against Benson Mayowa.
I do too, and Jeffcoat comes from, of course, his dad played on the great Dallas Cowboy defenses of the '90s. Played for a long time with the Cowboys and then with the Bills. He's got that bloodline as well. Matt, is there anybody there that you see that you're interested to see if they make the team on that list?
Chase Dixon for me, the tight end. The thing for me is that I'm still not set on Zach. Sorry, I feel like I keep attacking him every time we have a show. For me, I just think that I said at the beginning of the whole process that again I wanted to get a tight end in there. I know I keep going about tight ends, but I wanted to see a mix up at the tight end position. The only tight end, we didn't obviously draft any tight ends in the actual draft itself. So for me, I would look for Chase Dixon as a sleeper.
Very good. I kind of like Deion Bailey from USC. I know he's kind of a tweener. He started as linebacker and then he started at safety, but I think this is the kind of guy that defensive mind like Carroll can take under his wing and really get a lot out of. He's unselfish. He takes on blocks to free teammates to make the play. He has good speed. He's rarely out of position. everything I read about this kid, I really, really like. I think this is maybe a situation where, a kid that has done what's been asked of him at college is going to get his reward in the pros. But we'll see. I certainly hope that's the case. And I certainly hope it's the case with all these guys.
I tell you what, Moses. I mean, everyone was saying what a deep draft this was, and this group of undrafted free agents is better than some of the draft classes we had under Tim Ruskell. To be perfectly honest.
And I forgot two guys on the list. I forgot Andrew Pulu from Eastern Washington, and of course Keith Price from Washington. I forgot to list him on the undrafted free agents. Of course, a lot of people pulling for Keith Price to make the team. It's going to be hard to do with Jackson and with Pryor and with Wilson, but you never know. Kidna was a fourth quarterback for us for a long time on practice squad, and he got his chance. And I know a lot of people are going to be pulling for him from the UW group. So, yeah, I agree with you. It's a very, very deep, it was a very, very deep draft. Matt, any thoughts on the draft?
No, I mean, look, I'm hesitant to talk about grading, draft grades and all that sort of stuff, because at least this year, the pundits who were sitting on the panels were saying actually they were a little bit afraid of giving us a grade, because they know damn well that if they give us a C, the fans will kill them, but also they're almost certainly going to be proven wrong by the end of the year anyway.
Right.
So we didn't have any glaring need, in my opinion. There wasn't anything sitting there that I thought if we don't draft this, we're in serious trouble. As I said, I wanted to see greater depth at the offensive line. I think we've got that. I wanted to see more increase on wide receivers since we've lost Golden Tate. We got that. I can't sit here and put my finger on any one thing and say that we didn't do what I hoped we would do. The only thing that I wish was that I hadn't stayed up for the first round of the draft, because I absolutely knew that we were going to. I just knew we were going to trade out of that position, and yet there I was until 4 in the morning, sitting there watching us pass.
But if you hadn't stayed up, then we would have drafted at 32. So you couldn't win either way.
Exactly.
Although I did get to see the Cowboys not draft Menzel, so that was a good thing.
That made me sad, though. I wanted to see him draft Menzel. Final thing I'll add is I was listening to the radio over here, and there was a guy on that was he used to be in the front office with the Falcons a few years, and he said basically, and this is because people said, well, what about these draft grades and all this? And he said, look, people that are doing the draft could care less about the grades. They could care less about the magazines. They could care less about who says what about what player. He said, if you're the guys running the show, which is usually your head coach and your general manager, if they have a mission statement and they're driving towards that mission statement, they're going to get guys that fit that mission statement. And it may not, a guy on the outside may say, well, how come they didn't pick a tackle? Well, you know what? They don't care about you. They care about getting the guys to fit their scheme. And he said these draft grades are ridiculous because all it's about is about two guys with a vision saying this guy fits our team. And I kind of 100% agree with that, and I kind of always have. And I think we've got two great guys with a great mission statement that are picking guys that fit our team. So I think on that note,
I don't agree with that.
Yeah, I won't either. And on that note, I think we'll close this post-draft show of the 12th Man Fan Jam. Wow, was it fun or what? As always, informational, educational, and fun. What did we learn on the post-draft edition of 12th Man Fan Jam? Well, we learned that Matt cannot lose in Seahawk Trivia. Just it can't happen. We learned that Will owes Matt a trip to Vegas.
That's true.
We've got audio of that. We will hold you to that. And finally,
I didn't say when.
You didn't say when. We learned that Space Needle sex toys are not for sale in the gift shop. So, for Will, for my partner in crime, Matt, this is your self-appointed Reverend Moses of the St. Paul Island Church of Seahawk Positivity, thanking you all so very much for joining us during this show, and thank you for making us part of your off-season Seahawk tradition. We look forward to helping you waste over an hour of your post-draft, preseason, off-season life the next time we get together to talk a little Seahawk football. You don't have to go home, but you can't stay here. On behalf of everyone here at the 12th Man Fan Jam, thanks again for listening, and go Hawks.
Go Hawks.
Go Hawks.